Do I need to get a diagnosis? I wish it was a quick yes, and I'm a massive advocate for going for a diagnosis. However, there is factors that come into this which could mean that my answer for you would be a no. So just bear with me a second. Yes, I am late diagnosed as autistic and probably ADHD. I am yet to complete my ADHD assessment, although I do identify it as being ADHD at this time as well, which is actually very common for late diagnosed autistic females to actually have both, because one sort of like almost counteracts the other, and then things kind of get worse and a bit more off balance at perimenopause. That wasn't exactly the case for me, but you get the general idea. I got my label later. The other labels I got before that is too much. I've had enough of your shit today, Nicci. Over emotional, sensitive. The other sorts of labels people might get might be lazy, stupid, and these aren't even just labels that other people are saying to them. These are labels that they then say to themselves. The first point to consider is, number one, is it going to stop the negative rhetoric I have around what I'm saying to myself? If I feel like I need a label or a piece of paper or some sort of confirmation from somebody else of who I am in order to stop shooting myself with that second arrow of suffering, then I should absolutely get a diagnosis. Yes. Number two, if it's going to stop other people around me from expecting things from me that I just cannot give, and even though today I've laid down my accommodations and I've said what I need and it's still not working, people still aren't taking me seriously, then absolutely, if you want to go for that diagnosis, then go for it. If it's going to help you understand yourself better, if it's going to help you find your tribe, if it's going to help take the emphasis off a physical or autoimmune condition, and you'll be able to then navigate or understand how you work better so as to stop the sensory overwhelm, stop the physical symptoms that are occurring because you're not listening to yourself, and you feel like you will only be able to do that with a diagnosis, then absolutely go for it. But, you know, self-diagnosis is a thing. If you truly believe that you are, then you probably are. I read something when I was researching till 3 o'clock in the morning. If you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning, convinced you're autistic, that's very autistic. So it's not a diagnostic tool, but just to make light of that situation. But there is also, as I said at the beginning, a flip side to this, right? I'm gay, but there's about 50 different countries that I could go, certainly 36, that I can't go into and kiss my girl or woman in the middle of the street in front of everybody, because I would be shot at, arrested, or something horrific like that. As much as I'd love to say that the world will be completely open whether you're diagnosed or not, it won't be. There is a potential that you could be not allowed to emigrate to certain countries if they know that you're autistic. That at the moment is probably more if you have kind of like support needs that involve things like lots of interventions, one-to-one care, maybe you have other learning difficulties around along the same time. However, the political climate is constantly changing, and they could basically use your label as a way to kind of stop you from having your actual human rights. So that's the flip side. However, the flip side of that, again, how many sides has this thing got, is that we have to stand up and be counted. The people that can communicate, like myself, apart from when I'm stuttering, or overwhelmed, we have to kind of communicate who we are. We have to communicate our needs. We have to kind of like, and I felt like I could only do that from a place of scientific basis, of somebody with a scientific degrees telling me that telling the world that I am this person, right? I wanted people to not look at me and go, oh, well, she probably isn't because she's eloquent, or she probably isn't because, she can hold down a job, or she's attractive, or whatever these stupid reasons people have to say that we don't look autistic are. So I needed that piece of paper to be able to stand in my own power. And then by doing that, I'm able to then lift up other people into their power, whether they are diagnosed or not. And I hope that helps.